shoot. All right, so the Green Bay Packers play Carolina. Let me wipe this off. Got little smuts, little smuts. All right, Green Bay. Somebody asked me, was this a new camera? No, it's just my phone camera. So Green Bay plays Carolina, and Carolina is terrible this year. I think their record is like 4 and something. I don't know. They're terrible. So, with that being said, this game coming up, Carolina, I definitely have them losing. One of the reasons why I got Carolina losing is because they don't have number 22, Christian McCaffrey. What up with you? What up with your fam? Yeah, so they don't have number 22. And that's Christian McCaffrey, who was arguably, he was in the conversation for best player of the year about a year ago, wasn't he? He's just a dynamite player. They went to the playoffs and couldn't make it happen. They was trying to get the ball to him too much. Everybody was watching him. When you only got one superstar on the team and your whole team ain't clicking the way it should be, then they're just going to shut you down. Michael Thomas. Not for the regular season. Michael Thompson's out for the regular season. Michael Thompson, what's his position? You guys probably know more about football than I do because I don't watch it. But somebody had asked me if I had the Packers. I don't know if that was you or not, but let me look up the Packers' schedule. Oh, Saints wide receiver? Oh, okay. I wasn't even paying attention to the Saints. Well, Saints are 10-2. They're going to lose this week. Yeah, Saints are going to lose this week because they got to face the Super Bowl champs. And those guys are still playing like the Super Bowl champs, even though I am not sure how the Saints beat them. Or not the Saints, the Derek Carr and the Raiders beat them. I don't know how they beat them. Probably without, Patrick Mahomes. What's going on? Who that? Let me put my glasses on. You guys are starting to come in the room. I got 2 people in the room. 2 people is you guys to me. But I won't be able to read this. Yeah, priceless law. Priceless raw. What's happening? Yeah. So, Christian McCaffrey's not playing. But let me look up the Packers' schedule for the regular season. Because I just think they're going to win. I just think they're going to win it all. All right, so today the Packers got, well, not too, I don't even know if it's today. Is it today? Yes, today. Packers will beat Carolina today. Packers have a good chance Aaron Rodgers can be, right. That's what I'm thinking. Aaron Rodgers can be MVP so the conversation can stay open for the greatest player. I think that's what it's all about now. I think it's more greatest player is drawing more attention than just any team winning a Super Bowl. Because when you look right now, you're looking at teams that sucked last year are doing good this year. I mean, just a little bit of a turnaround, and then bam, teams are just doing good out of nowhere. Look at the Bucks. The Bucks are like 8-5. They're definitely going to go to the to the playoffs. When's the last time the Bucks did anything? What, 2009 when they had Warren Sapp? I mean, come on. Miami haven't done anything in a while. Look at Miami. They're playing good. They're like 9 and something. I mean, they're playing out of their mind. So they're hanging in there. Cleveland Browns are, second seeded. Bucks are a little overrated. This is true. But they have a winning schedule, which is more than what I could say for, There's some teams out there not doing that good. You know, even though Washington is making a resurgence, look at the Vikings last year and look at them this year. They're nowhere near as good as they were this year. And, you know, the injuries have taken Pittsburgh, dropped them out of the top seed. Other than that, Pittsburgh was top seeded, and they were shutting everybody down, even though they had a couple close ones, and then they dropped two in a row. Pittsburgh got beat by Buffalo and Washington. Buffalo, I can see. Washington, I can't. I can't. And the way Buffalo handled Pittsburgh was very clear that they didn't have their starters in. No, I don't think the Colts will make it to the Super Bowl. I think the Colts will make it to, regular playoffs, get taken out first, second round. I don't think they're good enough to go to the Super Bowl. I think there's way too many teams that are standing in their way. Not only that, there's no reason for them to go to the Super Bowl. You got to understand, the NFL is not made for the best team to go to the Super Bowl and win. Because if that would have happened, um, not Colin Kaepernick, Cam Newton would have won a Super Bowl ring when he was with the Panthers. They went 17-1. That would have happened then. But instead, Peyton Manning won. No, get out of here. The Broncos were not the best team during that time. They weren't, and this was clear the year before when they went and they got blown away by Seattle. So, no, I'm not having that, you know. And then Seattle gives one away. Just gave it away. Give it to beast mode, Pete Carroll. No, we're not going to do it. Okay, that's just stupid. So, uh, it just didn't make any sense. Okay, so the Packers have the Titans, okay, on the 27th. Now that's going to be a good game. Defense wins championships. I hear you. Packers defense isn't the best. I don't know what they're rated, but they're not the worst either. Okay, the Packers got the Bears also. So the Bears are having a losing season. So, who cares about that? But the Titans? Okay. Derrick Henry is still up for Player of the Year. I mean, he's still in that conversation for, just Player of the Year, not Offensive Player of the Year, not Running Back of the Year, just Player of the Year. He's still in that conversation, even though you got some, tough contenders out there. But you might got them two running backs from Cleveland who might have something to say about that. And as a matter of fact, as far as Player of the Year is concerned, if Cleveland fools around and at least goes to the Super Bowl, you're definitely going to be looking at their quarterback and their two running backs are just going to be, you know, they're just the standout players, even though the whole team makes a difference. But, I mean, they have Chubb and they have Kareem Hunt, and those guys are just, I mean, they're doing it right now. I think they're the best two-headed running back duo in the game right now. I think there's another one out there that's good, but they're just the best there is right now. So I mean, and Nick Chubb, I think his scores are actually higher than Derrick Henry's, but still, it's Derrick Henry. You know what I'm saying? He's the juggernaut to me. You know what I'm saying? So I like to see Derrick Henry do some. I like to see the Titans do good. I don't know if you guys ever, I told you guys, but I actually had a conversation with, damn, that's a long time ago at a club, right when they lost to the Rams. The running back for the Titans. Doggone, I can see his face, but I don't remember his name. I'll get it. But the running back for the Titans when they lost against the Rams, he almost got to the end zone, and bam! And then, I saw him in the club because he's from Ohio, and Eddie George, and he's standing right next to me, and I'm 6'2". Eddie George is like 6'1", 6'2", and he made me look small. I mean, a professional football running back. They're just big people. They're wide as heck. You think they're little skinny jokers. Nah. They're white. Eddie George is a big person. And he was just standing there, and I looked at him, and I was like, yo, y'all should have won that Super Bowl, man. He was like, I know. I know. You know what I'm saying? And you get to see the disappointment still on his face, you know what I'm saying? But Eddie George is a business owner, out here. You know what I'm saying? Cool dude, cool dude. Uh, so yeah, I was like, yeah, y'all should have won, man. So I'm not a fan of the Titans, but I kind of always want them to do good just because, uh, you know, Eddie George he was a great football player out here. And when he went to the pros, he's a great football player. So I've always had a little, like, okay, Titans, for Eddie Titans, let's go. So I was always like that. And I was rooting for them. But Eddie could not get into the end zone. He was like a foot and a half away, and he got tackled, and that was the end of the game. It's like, dang, so close but so far. But yeah. So I'm all about the. I'm not all about the Packers. I'm not even a Packers fan. I'm not an Aaron Rodgers fan. Uh, I did see Clay Matthews in the airport before. He's a big boy too. But I'm not a Packers fan at all. I just think that Mr. Discount Double Check. I think they make more money when teams like that, when you see all this money going behind a particular name, and then the conversation is constantly about that person, it's a good chance that they're going to bring that to the forefront because these people get paid by the ads. You know what I'm saying? That's why people pay so much for a Super Bowl ad. It's like, who do you want to see? Who makes more revenue? Who makes more sense uh, when it comes to the Super Bowl being watched because there's so many people that watch it. It's the number one watch sport in the world. And so when that forefront happens, you want as much money and eyeballs, going towards that, especially now that COVID is here. You can't put all them bodies into an arena anymore with all the hoo-ha. Everybody is at home watching it, and so it's even more madness when it comes to ad revenue. And I just think that the biggest name in the game right now when it comes to ad revenue is Aaron Rodgers. That's just the way I'm looking at it. Uh, that's just the way I'm looking at it. I can't see it any other way. If I'm wrong, I don't care because I don't bet on the games. I don't have any investment in the game. It's just something I like talking to you guys about. And, and sometimes I'm right, sometimes I'm wrong. I just, you know, I get into it with Tony, Mr. Dramatria every now and then, especially when we was talking about basketball real heavy. He'll hit up my channel and tell me what he thinks because he does the numbers. I don't do none of that. I just look at the science of promotion, and then that's where I get my guesstimation from. I knew Pittsburgh was going to start losing. As I talked about it in my videos, and I like to document everything so you guys can, I don't know, kind of see where I'm coming from. That's what I'm saying. So this is why I make these videos. So I'm like, this is fixed. This is just trash. Kevin Durant, you weren't hurt. You weren't hurt, Kevin. Stop it. Then you traded yourself from the best. Listen, if it was all about the best teams going, Kevin Durant would still be with Golden State. Golden State it just wouldn't have happened. LeBron James wins the championship. Who's surprised about LeBron James winning a championship? Nobody. He's the biggest name in the game. Nobody's in shock. I was in shock when Kawhi Leonard won the doggone championship. I was like, where'd that come from? Yeah, it made absolutely zero sense to me that Kawhi Leonard won. It made nothing. It made no sense to me. I mean, the guy still drives a 99 Chevy Tahoe. Big ups to the Chevy Tahoes. I have one of them. But no, it just didn't make any sense to me. But LeBron James winning a championship after you gave him everyone he asked for, and then saying he's the greatest player or they were the greatest team when he was in Cleveland. We had the greatest team when we won. You didn't. Big ups to your team, but you didn't have the greatest team. You beat Golden State because you were told to beat Golden State. That was it. Cleveland needed something to be excited about, so boom. Somebody paid big money for you to win that game, and all the money can come back into Cleveland. But let me tell you guys something. I used to run up and down in the Cleveland and do business. When LeBron James left Cleveland, they closed down the flats. Now, just to get this into a financial perspective of how much money this man brings into a city, especially one like Cleveland. Cleveland is one of the poorest cities in America. When LeBron was there, I think the number was like 500 million a year that he was bringing in. And then when you think about it, that's not a lot. 500 million is not a lot. I mean, when you just start, I mean, one player is making 200 million. Last time I checked, Steph Curry was doing 200 million. 500 million is not a lot of money when it comes to a city. So that number's, is definitely higher if he went back to Cleveland. And I think he will. I think LeBron James is going to end his career in Cleveland because he's from Akron, just like myself. But I just think the whole going home thing will just bring a bunch more money into the city. He might not win a championship, but I think if he goes back, he will. They'll give him every edge that there is. And yeah, I just think it's going to happen. But he brings so much money there. But when he left, they had to close down a whole part of downtown. The flats are downtown. The flats are a whole group of clubs that are down on the water. Just a whole street of clubs. And I remember I was down there and I saw, going to a club. He was just cooling. I saw him going to the club. No, I went back down there after he left. Not there. All of those clubs are gone. So he brings a lot of revenue into the city. But anyway, so yeah, Packers. I'm going to guess Packers is Tone. I got my COVID vaccine. You know what? I'm not going there with you, Mike. I'm not going there with you, Mike. I don't even know if you're still here. I'm not going there with you, Michael Jackson. Shoot, COVID. You see that nurse that fell out? That nurse took that COVID test, and then she was being interviewed, and she was like, "Well, I'm in a COVID unit. I had to go to the emergency room for a day." Look at that! Look at that! That nurse was like, we're on the COVID unit, so we have to get tested, and blah blah blah." And then she said about two more words, and she went, "Oh my goodness, I'm just feeling a little lightheaded." And she did like this, and then she backed up from the mic, and then you could just see her whole system shut down. When she did like this, then she turned from the mic, and then she just started fading, and they caught her on the way down. And she was still awake, still awake, still awake. Within less than 20 seconds, she was completely out. Completely. And now they're trying to say, oh, she had some pre-existing conditions. No. That nurse was working. She was working before she took that COVID vaccination. She took that COVID vaccination, pow! She was out in minutes. Gone. So, man, that's a no for me on the COVID vaccination. For one, I have too many pre-existing conditions. One, I'm overweight, as you can tell. Nah, I'm good. Michael Jackson. One, I'm overweight. Two, I have asthma. Three, I'm black. So that's a no. If I can stay away from it, I'm staying away from it. And that's it. Anyways, back to football. So, okay. I think the Packers will beat the Titans as well. And I know the Packers beat the Bears. Trubisky! I know the Packers will beat the Bears. I just don't think the Bears have Forte. Forte he didn't play for them no more, but I don't think the Bears have anything for any tier one team. Now the Bears played the Panthers. I think the Bears will win. The Bears played the Colts. I think the Bears will lose. The Bears played the Lions. I think the Bears will win. Talk Lamar in playoffs. Well, let's talk Lamar in playoffs. Let's look. You know what? Let's do that because there's. Okay, hold on a second. Let me look something up. Yeah. All right. Let's talk Lamar in playoffs because Lamar is a okay. So Lamar, they have the second worst team in the NFL that they're facing tomorrow, which are the Jaguars. Which the Jaguars can still play now. Fournette, they can still play now. They can surprise you. But if Lamar is Lamarin all over the place, I mean he's 8-5. If Lamar does what he did to the Browns, I don't know anyone who can stop that. I don't know any team that can stop that. I mean, that's just different. You got to get RG3 back out there or something. Slow him down. Just think if RG3 was a rookie and he was playing backup to Lamar. Woo! Fournette with the Bucks now. I like the Fournette. He beat the heck out of Pittsburgh. Fournette made a statement when Pittsburgh had to face them 2 years ago. They were like, we're not even looking at the Jaguars. Jaguars beat them. It's just like, why, Tomlin, would you say that? What are you drinking? Like, I would have looked at Tomlin and right after he said that, I'd have been like, Fournette? We're not looking at Fournette? He ran all over Pittsburgh. He made them look stupid. So, yeah, the Jags are not good this year. The Ravens also got to play against the Giants, 5-7 Giants or something like that. They also have the Bengals, who only won 3 games. The Bengals have no quarterback. So I'm looking at, everybody's pretty much thinking that, okay, the Ravens are going to be, 8, 9, 10, 11? They're going to be 11-5? Those are some decent numbers. You know what I'm saying? Those are some decent numbers. You're going to be 11-5. Okay, you dropped 5. But here's the thing. The problem with Lamar Jackson is Cam Newton 4 years ago. Lamar Jackson is Antonio Bell and Le'Veon Bell 3 years ago. Lamar Jackson is Derrick Henry last year. All of these players are so good that it takes them nothing to outshine everybody else in the NFL. However, when they do it, it puts a mark on their back. Because if they are shining so hard that their team is just running over everyone, and the plan for a team to win the Super Bowl has to come right through their backyard, then they're going to say, Antonio Bell, Le'Veon Bell, for whatever reason, you have to leave Pittsburgh. Yeah, they're going to tell them to leave. They're going to be like, you're too good. Pittsburgh's standing in the way. We need Tom to win this one. You guys got to go. Next thing you know, they're gone. Because don't forget, Tom Brady, a year ago, 2 years, he didn't have a great team. He had White. He had uh, Amendola, and of course he had Gronkowski. So I mean, those guys are great. But Pittsburgh could have put up a fight against them, all healthy and all in the game with their head in the game. Le'Veon Bell not being on drugs or coming in late. It's just a hard team to stop. So the Ravens have this same problem. They just do. The Ravens have to. I mean, they have an easy schedule ahead of them, right? But Lamar Jackson just put a spanking, even though it was a great game. But he showed out. He left the game with an injury, came back in the game, and won the game. He showed. See, that's good for sports fans, but it's bad for Lamar Jackson. What Lamar Jackson came in and did is bad for him. It's bad for him. I'm just telling you right now. Because when you did that, you illustrated how important you are and how much of a difference maker you are. If we want to sit down the Ravens, we take out Lamar Jackson. And I don't mean like we take him out like we break his leg like Pittsburgh did to the quarterback of Cincinnati some years ago. I don't mean that. I mean, you give him a Kevin Durant injury, some injury we don't know. We don't even know what's going on. We're not even sure if it's a serious injury. We don't know how long you're going to be out. But all of a sudden, when it's important, you get this faux injury. Kawhi Leonard, same injury. Kawhi Leonard with the Spurs sat out and was watching his team in a suit. Like he wasn't even on the sideline. He was in in the first and second row watching his team. Kawhi, what's wrong with you? Oh, my thigh got a little. I got one of those things. Doctors didn't even know. They get these faux injuries and sit these people down when they want other teams to come up and, get some shine. That's just how they do. They sit the star players down. And I think Lamar Jackson, especially with him showing out against the Browns, against a damn good 9-3 team, I think he made a mistake. I'm just going to say it. To me, it would have been better if Lamar Jackson lost. Because they still would have went to the Super Bowl. They still would have lost a very respectable game. But when you came in and you showed out like that, the powers that be looked at that and was just like, you're going to be standing in our way. That was it. That was it. So do I think Lamar Jackson is going to go and win a Super Bowl? Not anytime soon. I think the chances... Okay, yes, I forgot you are real big on sports. Conspire. Give me your top 5 sport. My top 5 sports conspire. You mean for the future? You mean what I think is going to happen? You mean what I think is going to happen? Or something that's already happened and I was more or less, I told you so. I can tell you right now, like I said, Packers are going to win the Super Bowl. That's just the way I feel. If they don't win, I don't care. Packers are going to win a Super Bowl. There's no way Lamar Jackson is going to win. Is going to go into the big one. Not this year. It's just not going to happen. I don't even think he has the pieces to do that. Lamar Jackson doesn't have the best arm. He's not the most accurate. He's just a super, super dangerous Cordell Stewart type of Michael Vick runner. He's another running back that if you give him a lane, he's going to get first down after first down after first down, then touchdown. So he's a dynamite player to watch. So I think, okay, let me give you this. I think Lamar Jackson will beat all three of these teams he has coming up: Jacksonville, the Giants, the Bengals. I think the Giants would give him a run for his money. I think the Giants would give him a run for his money. Who won in the NBA? I don't know. I haven't seen anything. I haven't done anything with it. And college football playoffs, I would have to look into that. I would have to look at the college football playoff because college football is all over the place now. That's why I stopped watching college because I was like, so what is the most important bowl? Is it the Orange Bowl, the Rose Bowl, the Cotton Bowl, the Fiesta Bowl, the Who Done It and Why Bowl, the Your Mama Wears Army Boots Bowl? I didn't know what bowls. Do you research and get back to me? Do you research and get back? I didn't know who's doing what. So college football confused me. It did. So I haven't really been following college football, and I haven't in years. As far as the NBA, the Lakers. I think the Lakers will probably take another one straight up. But yeah, so that's what I think. Uh, Alabama, Clemson, Ohio State, Notre Dame. If I had to guess, well, if I just had to throw a name out there, I would with Alabama, Clemson, Ohio State, Notre Dame, Ohio State. And let me tell you, I live in Ohio. I live in Columbus, Ohio. So let me say that. Let me tell you the dynamics of Columbus, Ohio. There is no professional football in Columbus, Ohio. Ohio State is notorious for sending more graduates to the NFL than any other team. What does that tell you? That tells you that Nick Saban, I think, is Nick Saban, right? That tells you that they put all of their Cleveland Browns, they put all of their professional money. If they had a professional team, they put all of their money, you know, into Ohio State in order for Ohio State to win. And when Ohio State loses, there's these people go out and start burning stuff. They riot. They literally go out and riot. Like it's not a game out here with Ohio State. It's not. These kids will go out and start setting things on fire. It's like that here. Because there's no professional team. So that's what you're up against when it comes to Ohio State. Maurice Clarett was robbing people at a club. The police chased him down with automatic weapons and, and ammo and all this other stuff. He got a slap on the wrist. I'm just telling you, just off of a guess, I don't know who's playing. I haven't watched Ohio State play since Maurice Clarett. So that just tells you how much I don't pay them any attention. When they had that whole scam about selling their jerseys and their personal effects and rings and stuff like that, I was not interested. Then they got rid of a damn good coach because of it. I never really cared about watching Ohio State. I actually walked out of one of their games. The only Ohio State game I ever went to, when they played against Penn State. I walked away. People started calling me names because I knew I was leaving. It was raining. I wasn't interested. I get bored quick. I got better things to do. But these people are religious. So I would say Ohio State would be my best guess. If not, then of course, Alabama. Alabama will lose a game and still be number one. Like the religion that is behind Alabama is unreal. It's unreal. they'll drop a game and still be number one and will go to the top bowl, whatever that is. It's like, how are you still number one? That's what I'm saying. I don't understand college football. I don't understand the different sections. I think the way I think college football should be handled instead of all the hands in it, I think they should have a Roger Goodell type of person who's over everything. That way they know exactly what's what. And I think, other than, okay, so for D1 schools, I think all D1 schools should, well, that's just hard to do because of the number of games. So I do understand that. It's kind of like I would think that they need to prolong the seasons. Like the season should be played with elimination games. Like okay, so I don't know how many games that they have, right? So let's just say they have 10 games, and then they go, if Packers win, and I'm gonna buy you a turkey, and I'm gonna eat that turkey. I'm gonna eat that turkey. I will eat that turkey 100%. 100%. You know what I'm saying? I will chew that bad boy up, gobble, gobble. Because, yeah, I mean, that just makes it more fun for me. But I don't usually, I used to have bets. I used to do like $20, $30 bets. But people were lying to me just to try to get, when they lose, try to get money out of me. I'd be like, nah, I can't. I'm not doing this no more. But I don't really care if the Packers win, but I think the Packers are number one seed in their division. Uh, let's see. Keeps giving me fantasy football. I don't care about fantasy. You still hitting the gym during COVID? Oh yeah, but I masked up. They make you wear a mask. Yeah. I don't go with a bunch of people, so I don't have this whole cult following that a lot of these other guys do. People surrounding them while they lift. Yeah. I don't care about that. I don't even lift to get strong anymore. I lift it just to keep what strength that I have. So, I could still put up 315. I'm happy about that. Had a guy come in there the other day and put 315 on and hit it 10 times. I used to be impressed by that. He used to fire me up like, I'm gonna go and work till I get to. I don't care anymore. I have too many injuries to give a damn. I know I'm never going to be able to lift that much. But you can bet for, hey man, you are a strong person. 315, I'm okay with that. It gives me, because it gets, see, my purpose has changed. Before, I was lifting to be competitive, just to be the strongest. I wanted to be one of the strongest guys in the gym, and I never was. But I was getting stronger. I was hitting 315 like 4 or 5 times. So I was getting up there, 335, 340. I started to get up there. And then I started getting more injuries, and then, I got off into what I'm doing now. Oh, you do powerlifting? Yeah. See, you're a strong person. I don't do that. I have, you're 6'2", 245. Well, I'm 6'2", 290, so I'm overweight. I'm not as strong as I want to be, but I use my strength, of course, what I do for moving around refrigerators. So I don't need it to power lift. I just need it to, you know, get a fridge to where it needs to go and, try to get some respect out of that metal. Because if you don't, that fridge will, it'll disrespect you real quick. So that's what I do my little push-ups and stuff, keep my shoulders. But that's what I'm on. It's simply for safety. You got to lift because you got to be strong in order to move these objects. And in case one gets, out of hand, you need to be able to, big old 35 wide, get it, back together because they're heavy and they have no love for you. They have no love for you whatsoever. So you gotta lift. Loves us. You gotta lift weights, and that's just all that's to it. But what was I looking at? I was looking at the top ranking. Sorry, I lost track. Yeah, you're stronger than me. Probably a lot younger than me too. No, Pac, no. Hey, Copper True, you already know what's going to happen. You already know. What up with you? NFC North. Just reading the Bible? Yeah, I do. I read the Bible twice a day. Okay, so right now Packers are number 2. Packers jump to number 2. Saints and Steelers fall. So week 15, Packers are number 2. Seeded. They're number 1 in the North. We are the North. Okay, with each passing week, NFL season, the Chiefs.
Tracy was doing a great job dropping the ball down the field. Then I see my guy go down, and as I'm seeing him go down, like,
yeah. So Packers are number 2 seeded, but let's see if I can get that back. I just didn't want to hear all that. Packers are number 2 seeded, but they're number 1 in their division. So there that is. Yep. Saints lose a 9-game winning streak. Pittsburgh lost their second one. Kansas City, are still firing on all cylinders. Because Patrick Mahomes is playing like, a young Aaron Rodgers. But I tell you what, here's the thing. You know what? New Orleans, they don't want to bring back Drew Brees anytime soon. I don't understand. Why don't you bring, Brees back so he can, do what he's doing? Heck, I mean, the Bills are ranked number 4. The Bills. The 10-3 Bills. Remember when Bills went to the playoffs, 3 years ago? There was this huge celebration because they've been in the playoffs in like 50 years. Pittsburgh is 11-2 and they're ranked number 5. Los Angeles, the Rams are number 6. What? 9-4 Rams are number 6? Rams versus Chiefs? No way. No way. No way. No way. Not going to happen. It's going to be Chiefs and Packers. Not unless Seattle comes out of, nowhere. Seattle's number 7, 9-4. The Ravens are number 8, 8-5. Yeah. So I'm predicting that I think Drew Brees isn't going to come back. I think they're going to play with Taysom Hill. And I think they're going to let the Saints lose this one. I think the Bills are just going to, I like the Bills, but Listen, I'm going to even say this. If the Bills meet Pittsburgh in the playoff, the Bills are going to lose. Because Pittsburgh, they only beat them because they had 5 players either sick or just, on, some kind of injury reserve. If those guys come back and that defense tightens up, they ate the defense secondary apart is what they did. If that defense comes back, tightens up that secondary, they're gonna stomp the hell out of Bills. Because they're gonna rush that quarterback and make sure that he has no one to throw it to. And who's he throwing the Diggs now, right? Mr. Miracle in Minneapolis. They're gonna stop Diggs, and that's just gonna be that. Seattle, you can never count them out. You just can't. The Giants, I don't think they can. I think the Giants are like wild card. The Giants aren't even in the conversation. I mean, you would look. The Browns are number 9. The Colts are number 10, and both of them are 9-4. Baltimore's ahead of them, even though Baltimore lost one more. Kyler Murray, they're number 13, 7-6. The Browns, the Dolphins are 8-5. There's just too many teams that are just ahead of them. Heck, Washington won their last 2. Defense, I just can't see it, bro. I just can't see it. Raiders said, I can't see New York doing anything. They're ranked number 19. They're 5-8. They're ranked number 19. They're 5-8. I can't see it. Hell, New England is ahead of them. And we all know New England they're done. They're finito. The Broncos are also 5-8. They're ranked 20. San Francisco is 5-8. They're ranked 21. That's because they lost their quarterback. He's been out the whole season. Yeah. Well, Washington's got Smith now. Back off of injury reserve. But Alex Smith, when he was with Kansas City, he was good enough to take you to a playoff. But he was never good enough to win the big one. And he still isn't. He still isn't. Falcons 4-9. They're ranked 23. Dallas ranked 24. And the Eagles, who's the big surprise, Carson Wentz they sat Carson Wentz down. You sat down Carson Wentz, old Red, 4-8-1. You sat down Carson Wentz. But that young person they put in there, that young dude, came in there and he started lighting people up with them yards. He was giving it to them. So it's like, yeah, Carson, you got to sit Carson down for the season. Your season's over with. You guys only won 3 games. Let this young guy get some shine. See what happens. They asked the coach, they're like, so is Carson Wentz going to be the starter? He's like, I can't say for now. What kind of loyalty is that? You can't say for now? I'd have been like, yeah, Carson Wentz is the starter next year. He's got a rough patch, as people do. We're going to work on it. We got too much invested in him. He's going to be our starter. That's just that. It's just that. But, yeah, so there are your rankings. I think the Packers are going to take it all. That's just what I believe. Anyways, guys, I'm going to go ahead and go. And it's good talking to you guys. Thanks for stopping by. God loves you, and so do I.